Yeah,
I just don't know.
So we can try to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can.
Do you want to ask him if there's before we have time?
Yeah, we should try to do that now. So, we process for River Valley, which is a CPF cost. And if it doesn't, it shuts down. And it didn't because thinking ran. Do you think we should pay the credit card today? Today's the last day. They'll give us like a 14 or 15-day lead away.
You just have to put it. But just explain why.
So the payment got processed, but I don't, when he told us to fail, I'm gonna give him another week.
Well, I guess then my question is, their payment's already gone out. And how we can.
I think you guys are just strategically done it that way because
Wow, it'll just, I mean, whatever we pay today.
Well,
we'll go on
that
next month,
and-
But I, you know,
We just
the
have to
county
make sure you
commissioners are
contact
flexible.
whatever.
Yeah.
Do last time.
I don't know. Oh, right.
I know the polls.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know it really.
Yeah.
It should be the tallest one.
I mean, we're just
Yeah.
shut down with VPN. For how, I mean, I'm saying, maybe it's not. I don't know. I mean, I don't, my guy says we should hurry up and try to pay it today.
If there's, if there has to be laws or can we add it?
Then that would be a problem.
You're gonna pay it anyway.
Right.
So we get the. Next.
Does that mess up anything if we do the credit card? Not that fast.
The biggest thing is, you know, you just.
What happens if they say,
Document that everything, and there's no way you know when they get to the next line, it's a payment.
that would.
It's just that it's checked out. from line to line.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you get a zero,
Yes.
Oh,
make sure you still send it through.
Okay.
We can show that it's.
that it's already been paid and then you can get right on there that it, because the
Because
credit
that's
card and
happening.
everything.
Sometimes people get credits and they don't tell us.
Right.
And then.
Like a credit.
Okay.
So.
I'll see if we can.
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
not-
Yes. I don't have a problem.
You've been called in?
That's not ideal.
Hers were with my daughter. Today, we did for me.
Yeah, Nancy, I think.
We do just.
That's what it looks
Okay.
like. You're not coaching.
Yeah.
Morning, Ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, we did it. I think there was, there wasn't.
Morning, Ma'am.
Hi, it's Nancy from JPO.
Morning, Nancy. Okay, good morning, everyone. We ask you to please rise if you're able for the opening prayer, pledge of allegiance before we convene our commission's public meeting.
That's what
Heavenly Father, establish the work that you would have our hands perform and bring us decisions and outcomes that are in accordance with your will. We ask you to keep us alert in a dark world that thrives on hate, dissension, and conflict. May we rise above unity, peace, and love, so that our value thrives in your goodness. Let your peace rain down upon us this week as we seek you first in all that we do. Father, next Monday, we'll recognize and celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. On this day and throughout the year, may we encourage all Americans to volunteer to help their communities promote equal rights for every American. We pray for all racism to cease. We know that you are all created in your image. Love sees no color. We're all equal in your eyes. That is the measure of your love. We should honor and follow the example that you set. And we pray for your guidance daily. May your hand be over our meeting. These things we present to you in your name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Like everyone went there to there. It's not the flag.
Each one of these, it goes in the middle. Each
Uh-huh.
has the chair.
It's like everyone.
He also said he's one of these guys who wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning and rearranges furniture on his board.
I could envision that. I envision that.
It's like, sit at a different seat, kitchen table, fill the whole family out of whack. Okay. All right, so convening commissioners, public meeting this time. Ask for approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll make the motion.
A second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Is the flag moving going in the minutes for the next meeting?
Okay. Any public comment on agenda items only? Hearing none, we'll move on to reports. Nikki. Get in with the podium. It's still.
Presented for your ratification are invoices due through January 21st, 2026, to be paid on January 14th, 2026, in the amount of $2,917,730.79, 60.43% out of the general fund, 2.4% out of other grants, 28.78 out of RMS, and 8.38 out of escrow.
Okay, is there a motion to accept accounts payable?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Next, I have the credit card cash requirement report for purchases made from December 1st, 2025 through December 25th, 2025 in the amount of $3,567.79.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Additional items, Mike.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have one here in the elected official personnel action is a promotion in the sheriff's office to Lee Zimmerman, deputy sheriff first class, full-time at $26.996913 per hour, 80 hours per pay period, effective date January 4, 2026.
And we have a sheriff here today. You like to make any comments?
This is just pursuant to their collective bargaining agreement. After 5 years of service, they are, I won't say entitled. It goes before the sheriff. He reviews their file, and if the sheriff thinks that they are fitting for this promotion.
So something they've earned. With your blessing. Okay, thank you. Okay, personal actions.
Approve the following personnel actions as conditional offers of employment, subject to the successful completion of background check and all other employment conditions as outlined in attachment A. In consolidated services, Taylor Pearson, she's the consolidated services printer, pay grade 7, $20.536078 per hour, 75 hours per pay period, effective date January 18th, 2026. In the prison, Camden Smith, correctional officer in the union, $20 per hour at 80 hours per pay period. Anticipated start date, January 26th, 2026. Also in the prison, Johanna Devor, union, $20 per hour, not to exceed 1,000 hours annually. Anticipated start date, February 2nd, 2026. In the public defender's office, Meredith Manchester, assistant public defender, full-time, $62,315 annually, 75 hours per pay period with a start date, January 15, 2026. Resource management, Sharon Mull, weighmaster, pay grade 4, part-time, $20.507712 per hour, not to exceed 1,000 hours annually. Anticipated start date, January 26, 2026. And in resource management, Stephen Trait, electrician, pay grade 9, part-time, $35.962038 per hour, not to exceed 1,000 hours annually. Anticipated start date, January 26, 2026.
Okay, is there a motion to accept the personal actions?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
Boy, we really carried those out. 6 decimals, I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to action items, Mike.
Yeah, 5.1 here. Vote to approve the 2026 P Corp renewal application. This lists out all the liabilities that the county has. So it'd go into payroll, and look at our facilities. It's basically just the application form of information. They'll get it back and they'll spin it into their cycle, I guess, and then come back with their rate for the next following year.
Okay, thank you. Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Fair side? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy, you're up.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Juvenile Probation is asking for your approval for a Northampton County contract for the 2025-2026 season. The 2.47 increase was $10 a day. Per diem was $405 a day, and now it's $415. And currently, we do not have anybody there.
Okay, thank you. Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Morning, Maya.
Morning, Commissioners. The first item I have for you, 5.3, is vote to approve the agreement with Gary Weber Esquire. This is for solicitor services for the Register and Recorder's Office.
Okay, motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
The next item, 5.4, vote to approve the agreement with Justin Hauser Esquire. Again, this is for the Register and Recorder's Office, and they would provide legal representation when there's a conflict with Solicitor Weber.
Okay, motion to accept.
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
5.5, vote to approve grant monitoring agreements with the following outside agencies as approved in the 2026 budget. The total amount, oh, she doesn't have that there. Sorry. So do you want me to go down through each individual one, or how would you like to approve?
Yeah, you can highlight each.
Okay. So the agencies approved for the 2026 budget was Lycoming County Library System in the amount of $1 million. Lycoming County Senior Citizens, in the amount of $10,000. Law Enforcement Association of Lycoming County in the amount of $15,000. Lycoming Police Camp Cadet Foundation Incorporated in the amount of $3,000. American Rescue Workers in the amount of $5,000. Community Alliance for Progressive Positive Action, known as CAPA, in the amount of $10,000. Fire Tree Place in the amount of $25,000. Lycoming County Fire Police Association, in the amount of $3,000. West Branch Firemen's Association in the amount of $10,000, and the Williamsport Municipal Airport Authority in the amount of $176,425. Just as a note, this is a decrease of $395,825 from the 2025 budget. And originally, when we had the 2026 budget, it was $4 million request. So we did a lot of due diligence to, balance that budget to make it fair for outside agencies, but also to taxpayers.
Right, so we had a $4 million request. We cut it down to what we have now. Could you explain a little bit about the airport? And
Yeah.
how those are required?
So for the Williamsport Airport, Williamsport Municipal Airport Authority, we're required to pay those funds. It's part of the, I guess the airport is like the overall federal airport authority, like we have to do those things. We have to pay them.
The tower. things
The
like that.
tower site, yep.
Okay, motion to accept those.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. And then also, could you note that these monies, they have to be drawn down on?
Yeah, so we're taking a different process that I felt like we needed to tighten up. One was that we had some agencies that didn't have grant monitoring agreements and some that did. This year, everyone is going to be considered equal. Everyone will have a grant monitoring agreement, which will allow the commissioners to view the expenses to evaluate the effectiveness of the funds being allocated to them. And at the same time, there's a drawdown process so that we're not just, from a cash flow perspective, we want to make sure we're handing out the monies as they're needed rather than giving them upfront at a time that may not be beneficial to us from a cash flow perspective. So they will have to do official drawdown request form, which is incorporated into the grant monitoring agreements.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to make a comment now before we move on. Like, this was incredibly difficult for us because as I think you said, $4 million in requests, and we ended up with whatever we ended up with. So obviously these are great programs. There's other great programs. We'd love to be able to fund everything, but we can't fund it and have a balanced budget. And so that was the kind of the yin and the yang of it. And it was really, really difficult. But we're also kind of moving into the new world where money is tight everywhere. And looking at some of these groups of maybe fundraising, or we want to make sure that if there's a way that the two charities aren't doing duplicate services, that we can kind of use our money wisely and use their resources wisely to provide for the society and to provide for our communities, but not run us into bankruptcy and trying to do it. So that is the challenge moving forward, not just for us, but for every municipality and government agency, because that's the financial climate that we live in. So this was a very tedious process, and it was not a fun process, but it's these are the decisions that are hard in trying to run a fiscally responsible, balanced budget. And we're still hoping that all these organizations, we figure out ways that they can thrive going forward. But as a county, we need to thrive as well. And so again, that's the challenge. And I just don't want anyone to ever look at any of these, because I know people make requests and they're like, we requested this much and we got some of it. We didn't get all of it or whatever. This was not like a 10-minute meeting that we just kind of checked things off the list. This was long discussions, multiple meetings. And, this really is one of the challenges of our job. And I, just want everyone to know that it was painstaking, I guess is the right word.
It kind of goes back to the ARPA monies when we had around 78 million worth of requests for $22 million worth of money. So the requests are always far exceeding what we actually are awarded. So again, difficult decisions. We've talked to our lobbyist about whether they're able to maybe find other monies, state and federal monies for some of these agencies. So they believe that some of them they can. So they're going to set up meetings with those entities and our lobbyists to see if they can take money through other means.
Yeah, I was going to expand upon that too. In our office, we also do grants as well. So for me, having an individualized perspective of what they're spending the funds on, that can help assist me as well, looking for other grant sources for them too. I always throw out the library as an example. For years, I used to assist with the Keystone Grant application for some of the projects that they have. So, depending on what their initiatives are and what they're spending the monies on, that may be an avenue for them to pursue, moving forward. And that's an educational piece as people coming in and going out. That it's something, like I said, I think it's important to really look at those expenses and see what we can do better. So it's just not simply cutting them and not helping them. It's like we really are trying to look at what they're doing to see if there's other ways we can assist.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Uh-huh.
Okay, moving on to 5.6.
Yep, and 5.6, last item I have for you is vote to approve the subrecipient agreement with West Branch Drug and Alcohol Abuse Commission. This is for Act 152 and the BHSI funds, which is Behavioral Health Services Initiatives. So as a single county authority for Lycoming County, West Branch gets these funds allocated from the state to them. And unfortunately, they don't go directly to them. They come to the county because being a county authority. So we pass through those funds to them for them to administer.
Okay, motion to accept.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Morning, Forrest.
Morning. I have 3 items for you today. These are all proposals from Clear Ballot. They're basically amendments to the contract we have with Clear Ballot, which is the company that makes the county's electronic voting system. This is for 2026 product, services, support, that kind of thing. The first item, 5.7, this would be for Clear Ballot to provide us with on-site election day support for the primary on May 19th. And then the November 3rd general election. We get this on-site support every year because they are our backstop if we run into a challenge that we didn't anticipate with the administration of the election and the voting system.
Okay, motion to accept.
I will make the motion.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments?
So this is basically something we do annually.
Absolutely.
This is nothing new, no change in our current policy or the way we do things.
Yes, we've
Thank you.
always had someone on site, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
The next one, 5.8, this is an agreement with Clear Ballot that would, we would obtain backup batteries for our precinct scanners. We bought all of these precinct scanners back in 2019 when we purchased the voting system. These batteries are now going on 7 years old. We've seen a few failures. It's happening at an accelerating rate. And at this point, Clear Ballot is advising us we need to just replace all of them because we're going to have more and more of them fail. And one of the conditions for the operation of the voting system under its federal and state certification is we have to maintain backup power supplies. And in the case of the scanners, it's this backup battery that if we had a power interruption in a polling place, that scanner is able to operate independently for at least 2 hours, but it tends to be more like 3 or 4. So this is just to buy the batteries. We can do the work to replace them all inside each scanner.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any further comments or questions?
Again, I just for clarification to the public, for us, this is just a battery that we're replacing an existing battery that
That's right.
for existing equipment, there's no new items being bought, nothing being changed in the way we do.
That's right. This is maintenance of the voting system for batteries that are now up to 7 years old. And these are actually, it's the same chemistry as the battery you would have in your car. It's just smaller. And so if your car battery was 7 years old, you'd probably be looking at replacing it. You know?
Just did that, 6 years old.
There you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's a requirement to
Yeah,
have that.
we have to have this backup power supply functional inside each scanner. Did we take the vote? I didn't want to.
Yeah. All fair side?
Yeah.
You ready? Aye. Okay, next, 5.9.
5.9, this is a purchase from Clear Ballot of additional ballot bags. So you've been there on election night, you've seen we have all these ballot bags that are going out, coming back. These are the ones that are red that we use to transport unused ballots in the morning. And then they always have some that are still unused at the end of the day because we give them extra. So they're coming back at the end of the night. These bags are proprietary to the voting system. They also have an emergency ballot slot. So if there was a problem with the scanners, these can be used as a temporary container for voted ballots. So they do double duty. And periodically we have to replace some of these because you get wear and tear. They're being transported, moved around, stacked up. And sometimes you get some acute damage that requires one to be replaced. So at this point, we'd be replacing, I think, 20 of them. The last time we had to buy replacement bags of this type was back in 22. So it's been about 4 years since we replaced any of them.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All fair side? Aye. Forrest,
Yeah.
are these being funded through the Act 88?
These can be listed as eligible expenditures under the election integrity grant program. Yes.
Can we do that? Because that helps.
Yeah, we can put them under
Yeah.
that. Yes.
Let's do that.
And I also wanted to say a quick note about the print shop. It was a very, very good thing to fill that position. I know it's been integral to election operations for a number of years, ever since we went to paper. We made a conscious effort to move a lot of our work to the county print shop because in the past we had outside companies do some of this stuff. But when you do election printing, you've got a whole bunch of counties in line who all need the same thing at the same time. So if there's a problem, it can be really hard to get it fixed. Whereas now we're printing our ballots there, our poll books, our numbered lists of voters. So if there's a problem, I can call right downstairs and I know someone's going to pick up the phone. And if it's time sensitive for us, they're going to drop everything and fix it for us. And it's worked. Not only has it saved us money, it's given us that end-to-end control over our election operation. And it's really important. You can't put a price on
No,
it.
you can't. But these things, we get funded back through the state. That helps our general fund.
Yeah, the Act 88 grants, it's a $45 million pot of money that gets allocated every year between the 67 counties based on our voter registration numbers. So if we get some more people registered to vote, we'll get a little more money, which is a good thing. But historically, our share of it has been around $370,000, give or take a little bit. And then we can use those funds for certain categories of expenditures, such as paying our poll workers, training poll workers, various precinct supplies, and among other things, some of the work relating to maintenance of the voting system.
Good, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Jenny, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have two items for you this morning. The first is item 5.1. Vote to approve the agreement with Delta Development in the amount of $50,000, and that's a 2026 budgeted item. And this is for state funding support. Delta is critical in helping us leverage state funding dollars.
So,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
And item 511, the other one was 510, not 5.1. So 511 is a vote to approve the third amendment to the agreement with Kleinfelter, formerly Century Engineering, and that is for stormwater and development engineer services in the planning department. And I want to note that the stormwater fees are reimbursed by the applicant. So we pay those up front and then we get them back once they're reviewed.
Motion accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thanks. Morning.
Morning.
5.12, Commissioners, we're seeking your approval to renew the agreement with Infocon Corporation in the amount of $20,693.16. This is actually paid monthly, and this is for the treasurer's office.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
And I do just want to echo what Ford said about moving Taylor up to the printer position. We definitely appreciate that. She's been a great help since she started here, and backing up Gary and backing up everybody as a floater. That's a much needed position. And then moving her up to the printer position was our goal when Gary retired. So yeah, we appreciate that.
And having printing in-house saves so much money.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
we're thankful for these employees.
She does great jobs.
Thank you. Thank you. Morning, Tim.
Good morning. Item 5.13, we are looking for approval to the agreement with Hunter and Lawson. This company does our preventative maintenance on our backup generators in all the county buildings.
Okay. Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Action item 5.14, vote to approve resolution 2026-01, ratifying the County of Lycoming Commercial LERTA voted on October 5th, 2023.
Okay, so motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
Action item 5.15, vote to approve resolution 2026-02, repealing the County of Lycoming Commercial LERTA.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Brooke walked in. Do you have any comments on either one? Yeah, come on up. Because you lost your voice apparently.
On 2 weeks as of today.
Oh,
No.
you get better.
I feel fine. I just can't talk.
You just can't talk.
I got the flu New Year's Eve and I woke up Thursday morning, lost my voice.
Oh, boy.
So I don't know, inhaler medicines, nothing's helping.
She wakes up the day after New Year's with no voice and she's blaming the flu. Is that what I'm buying that?
That's what she's selling, yeah.
That's what she's selling.
So a commercial order. So I want to make sure we're going to honor those warrants that came through. And those are ones to construct a building, remodel Wawa's, Chick-fil-A's, and the Stevens School that I just involved that they're changing to multi-using. I just wanted to make sure that we will continue to honor these ones, but no more. You will not do unless you guys decide to implement a current commercial alert going forward.
Yes, they will be.
Okay,
Yep. Okay, so,
great, that's all I needed.
okay, thank you. So 5.15, we have a motion. Second, all fair say aye. Aye. Okay, thank you, Brooke.
Thanks.
And then Brooke, if you can just get with Mary Rose and give her that list so she can add that to the minutes, because I don't know if anybody heard you. All right, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. We could have,
Get well soon.
we could have all whispered through the meeting, so she didn't stand out. So she could have did it.
Next week, I'll be able to.
Nikki,
Commissioners, I have two invoices that need approved for November 2025 and December 2025 for the GEO reentry coordinator position at the prison. They're both in the amount of $5,750. Their contract expired 10/31/2025, but it was agreed upon that they would continue services through the end of the year.
and that's January 1st. That
Yes.
position's no longer there.
And that was a budgeted item for 2025.
Okay, so motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
A second, all fair side? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, commissioner comments. I got none this week. Got nothing, you got anything?
Yeah, all I have is with Martin Luther King Day coming Monday. Never seen the movie Selma, you should watch it because it's a wonderful historical, I don't know if it's wonderful, but it's an accurate historical retelling of one of the monumental events during the civil rights movement that Dr. King led. And it's just in our world where our leaders now, where we went from Biden, who was in his 80s, to Trump, who's now is almost 80. And when you kind of look back at some of these people who had such an impact on America and how young he was, I think Dr. King was 36 when he was assassinated. He was either 30, he wasn't 40, he was either 36 or 38. So and you think of all this stuff that was done and accomplished in such a short time. So it's just different than in our world now. Although I guess the mayor of New York now is really young, but it's just whenever you look back and think of all the things that we've heard about Martin Luther King Jr. and all this stuff that he did, and realize how quickly he did it, and how he won a Nobel Peace Prize, I think at 28 or something like that. So it was but if you've never seen the movie Selma, you should watch it. It's a good watch.
Thank you. Any public comment? Morning.
Good morning. I usually do this kind of thing, so I'm a bit nervous, but I'm just a member of the public. My name is Samantha Eckert, and I have a student in Cochrane Primary School. I don't think I'm the only one who's brought this up probably in the last couple of days, but the funding for the mobile ag lab from PA Friends of Agriculture was supposed to visit the school at the end of the month. If you have a response, like I said, I'm sure you have a response locked and loaded for this, and I'm eager to hear it. I'm eager to hear it because the only explanation I've heard so far has been from a member of the PTO that I talked to about this. And this is just me speaking for myself. I care less about if somebody forgot to send an email or make a phone call or something. My understanding is that this was applied for and approved last year, even though it was for a date in 2026 and it couldn't be funded for some reason. Somebody should have caught that. The county was the one that reached out to the school and said, hey, we have this money to spend. And, again, I care less about the specifics. What I care about is that this opportunity gets funded. I knew nothing about this until I started seeing posts about it from the PTO on Facebook. And then once I looked into it, I thought that it was the coolest thing. I grew up in the suburbs. If you had to make me do one day of farm work or ask me to identify a plant that's not like a dandelion, I would probably die somehow. I didn't have anything like that at my school, and we're in a much more rural area, where I grew up 3 hours away. But my kid now has a chance to be that much closer to what agriculture actually means, a little bit closer to land. Maybe it's going to spark an interest and she's going to want to be a wildlife biologist when she grows up or something. I'm not going to speak on behalf of every parent, but I am speaking on behalf of myself. I care less about the answers. I care more about please getting it funded so that the kids can have this really cool opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Waiting for online?
Yes.
Okay, there's two comments online. The first one is from Andrew Paul Hamus, 739. What happened to the funds that was presented to local schools from last year for the PA mobile ag education? Only kids in education are suffering. Second comment from MC-G581. A request for the tabling of the clear ballot contracts for further review was ignored by our commissioners during today's meeting. The agenda that included this item was released only 24 hours before. And that's the only comment.
Address that, because it was discussed, it was not ignored. It was discussed with solicitor. The items are items that are already in existence. So there was no new items being purchased. There's no new contract being written. These were to buy backup batteries that we legally have to do. The bags, we don't legally have to buy new bags, but they're just bags. So there was no new equipment purchased. There was nothing changing the current contract with those three voter services items. So it was not ignored. It just had no validity to table something just to buy backup batteries or to buy bags to carry your voter equipment in. There was no new voter equipment being purchased or changed from previous years. And the agreement of the personnel has been an ongoing agreement, which again is no change from any previous years.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Any further comments?
Nothing further.
Okay, well, we've completed our agenda, so our next meeting will be Thursday, January 22nd, 2026 at 10 a.m.
Thank you.